this time you have the whole entire poem in front of you. You've already read the first 2 stanzas. You were supposed to read the first 2 stanzas. And now you have the third part at the bottom there. And so you are going to figure out this time what the riddle is in this poem. Do you see that this is a riddle? It's asking you something, right? Mm-hmm. You have to figure, what's the question it's asking you? When you look at this poem, it says, I'm sometimes new, yet always old. I shine like the sun, but I'm really cold. I'm round like a ball, but I don't spin. So you can see my face again and again. Though I'm up really high, a cow once jumped over. When astronauts came, they had a rover. So what is the poem saying? I mean, not telling me what it's about, but what is the question? What's the riddle? What are they asking you?
Where do we put this at?
What'd you say?
Where do we put this at? Or we just tell you the answer?
No, I'm going to tell you that next, but I just want to know, do you know what you're looking for? What is the riddle saying? Or what is the riddle asking you?
Who is that person?
Yes. Yes, exactly, Josh.
What am I?
Great. Who am I? Good. Good. Who am I? That's what that question is. So your purpose for reading this poem is to figure out who is it? Who are they talking about? So in order to find the answer to this riddle, do you just predict or do you have to infer? And I don't want you to write this whole poem out when you figure out whether it's a prediction or inference. I just want you to write 2 words, riddle, poem, under prediction or inference. What do you have to do to figure out this riddle? Are you just going to make an educated guess? Or are you going to use the strategies of an inference that we talked about? Visualization. I got to look at my clues. I got to think of my prior knowledge. And when you do this, it might be helpful to underline some clues, circle some clues, look at the words to see if any of it is prior knowledge, different things. You might have to do all of that. So look at it and see. What do you need to do? Just an educated guess? Or you need to infer? And once you figure that out, write 2 words, riddle, poem, on the correct part of the Venn. When you're done, raise your hand. Okay, now the only thing that I noticed, I didn't see anybody underline anything, circle anything, or look at anything within the poem to give themselves clues. Did you all do that all in your head? Mm-hmm. Okay, just as a note, we're going to continue, but just as a note, it's helpful sometimes when you do it in the margin of your text. Wherever you're reading, wherever you're writing, unless it's a book you can't write in, or if you have a notepad, it's helpful to write those little notes right there, because then it'll help you work it all out so that you can answer the riddle. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did. But actually, we didn't do our turn and talk, did we?
No.
Okay. All right, so Joshua, turn and talk. That's our last thing. That's our activity. That's the last thing we're doing for the day is our activity. Okay, so Joshua, I want you tell Joy, talk to Joy, tell her how you got your answer or why you got it. And then Joy, you do the same thing with him. 1 minute, only 30 seconds to a minute.
I got my answer.
To Joy, talking to Joy.
I got my answer because I use inference on the whole poem. Because I did on what I know in the poem, and then facts in the poem too. That's all I did.
I did both. I did prediction and inference because when I first read it, I was questioning in my mind, well, what is this going to be? I was thinking the outcome ahead of time, even before I got to the second stanza. So, yeah.
Okay. If you're all done, show. Done, right?
And
Okay.
did we get the right answer?
You're missing you missed the one that I did for myself. I don't know why I'm skipping that particular slide, but I'll just tell you. When I was getting my answer there, I was looking but I made some marks in my margin. It's not showing up here now for some reason, but I started off. I'm sometimes new yet always old. I shine like the sun, but I'm really cold. The first thing I started thinking, I wrote out constellations. This has something to do with the planets or something, the stars. Let me see. Let me keep reading, and I'll decide. Then I underlined sun that it shines like the sun. So I underlined shine, sun. I circled, I'm really cold. So I know it's not the stars because stars are hot. So then I went to the second one. I'm round like a ball, but I don't spin. So you can see my face again and again. So now I know.
The moon.
Okay, I guess I should have started off saying, don't holler out the answer yet. But, so I said, oh, this is round.
Yeah,
this is something round.
It gotta be the moon because the cow once jumped over it.
There you go. That was my prior knowledge. That is a what?
Inference.
What do we know from that prior knowledge? What is that, a nursery? A nursery rhyme, right? If I remember correctly, it's hey diddle diddle, the cat in the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. So that's when I'm starting to confirm some things here. I know that's from a nursery rhyme. Of course, we know the astronauts went to the moon. So there we go. We have figured this out. We've drawn our conclusions. So it's definitely inference. Okay?
Like I said.
If a person put it in both spots, I wouldn't have marked it wrong because the person may have also predicted did some predictions within it because
That's what I said.
yeah. But then I would have put it. Oh, you put it as both.
Yeah,
No, you just got it here.
No, I did the arrow.
Oh, okay. It looks like that's up there for number one, but that's okay. So that's what we did. So then now you've had 3 little exercises there, and we're done with that. Is there any questions on those instructions?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna end our day with a little activity. It's almost like a game, and we'll be done for the day. So we've talked about all of this. Oh, there's my slide. I forgot it was in a different spot. Okay, it was the moon, and I've already covered all this with you all. If you had to guess what the name of this poem was, what would you have said?
I said special me.
What did you say,
What
Joe?
am I?
What am I? Those are good answers, though. But guess what the name of that title is?
The moon.
No, it's not the moon. That's what I guessed.
How
it
that
was.
jumped over the
That was
moon.
my guess. No, it's a riddle poem. They named it that because it's a riddle within the poem. Pretty
It should have been the moon.
pretty good. Pretty clever. But that's the person who wrote this, that's what they want to write, right? That's their creative writing. So here we are, we at the end. You can shake your head, get up, stretch a little, move your little hands around.
No, I'm not.
So what we doing now is yay! We have some little role play cards, and we're gonna end it from there. All right. Now here's the instructions of this game. This is prediction and inference game, and the instructions are: you're going to pull a card, read aloud the card, state if the card represents inference or prediction. If the card has a situation, in some cases you're just going to have the vocabulary word, the characteristics of that, of an inference or a prediction. In some cases you're not going to have just the word. Some cases you're going to have a situation. like we did with the cat. And you'll have to look at it and then say, is it an inference or is it a prediction? If you need some help, you can say, question. And then you ask us a question, and we'll help you through it. Okay? So let's just do, our time is almost running out, so we're not going to get through all of these cards. We'll just do some. All right. So who would like to go first?
Me.
All right. Pick a card. Anyone.
Hey, that's
Joshua,
me.
Joshua, she was going first, so put the card back. We want to remember our manners. Okay. Joy,
Where'd you get that?
go ahead, pick a card. Okay, you can stand up, you can move and exercise, move your legs around.
I'm supposed to read the picture.
You're supposed to look at the card, and if there's words on there, you read them out loud. And if it's not any words, what do you got to do? You just got to look at that picture and decide whether you need to just predict based on everything we learned today. Or is it going to be, you got to go further and do inference.
So I read everything right
Yes.
Title of this picture is, and they have like people climbing up on those little blocks.
Okay, like a big cube, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you can pass the card to us after you look at it, and we'll see. Turn around and let's look at her for our clues. Just turn around and look at her for our clues.
I don't know.
You know, I didn't set the timer because we're going to be timing this, so just keep going. All right. So you're going to get about 15 seconds.
Working up. Working up.
Okay, now what you're supposed to do is you read everything that's on there,
Yeah,
and then you tell us whether you needed to predict or whether you needed to do an inference. And if it's a question, then you can answer the question.
It's a question.
Okay.
Title of this picture. I needed to make an inference because wait. No, I need to predict.
Okay, she said predict. All right, show us the card. So you didn't need our help on this. Here's the card. Title of this picture, and then it says, "How did you get your answer?" So she just needed to get the title. What is the title of the picture? You agree with her? She just needed to make an educated guess.
She need to make an inference.
Okay. Now, why do you say she needs to make an inference?
Because yeah, she didn't make a prediction.
Yeah, I agree. Prediction. She's just making an educated guess. Now she can go ahead and start using inference if she wants to start looking at the visuals and start going a little further to come up with the net title of this picture.
Talking about people.
Yeah. Well, to me, when I was looking at it, they're all trying to help her climb up. So it made me think of when everybody's trying to help somebody.
Tarzan.
I thought of teamwork because they're all trying to work together to get her pulled up. But they're real, so that's what that is. It is a prediction. Okay, so Joshua, pull a card. Come on, because class is going to be over. Read it out loud. Stand up over there and read it out loud.
Wait, never mind.
Oh yeah, there are two sides. I meant to say that. But since we don't have time, we won't be able to do. Next time we play the game, there's two sides, and the person's up there reads both sides of the card. But we won't have time to be able to do that. Okay, read it clearly.
After thinking aloud about clues, questioning, using background knowledge to make judgments, that meaning is created about the text.
Is it? Oh.
It's not your turn. Joshua, is that a prediction or inference?